Welcome into the JMU Sports News YouTube. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick, joined by transfer defensive back Ray Williams from Howard. Ray, how are you doing on this Saturday?
How you doing, Jack, man? I'm good. I'm great, really. It's been a pleasure. I'm speechless, really.
Yeah, so you started your collegiate career. We'll kind of just break it down throughout, kind of talk your Howard career a little bit, then what brought you to JMU. But you spent, what was it, the first 4 years of your collegiate career, 5 years with Howard, with the Bison. Can you kind of take us through your career with them and what led you to decide to enter the transfer portal for this final year of eligibility?
Okay. So yeah, 5 years I was over at Howard. My freshman year I started to play kind of like a high safety, free, strong kind of safety. Then my sophomore year, obviously we had COVID, came back and played a little bit of nickel, had another good year. And then my final year, my third year I got hurt, so I redshirted, and then my final year over at Howard, when we just went to the celebration ball, I played corner. So I played some boundary corner, some field corner, a little bit of everything on the back end, really. Major reason for me getting in the transfer portal and coming to JMU and looking for a new home in general was because obviously in life, a lot of different things happen. I have some family situations going on. And two, I feel like I play really well, but I feel like I'm a great player, and I feel like the HBCU world doesn't get enough recognition sometimes.
Yeah.
So I feel like coming here and playing in a little bit bigger conference on a bigger stage, kind of being able to shed some light on the things that my coaches taught me, the different things that me and a lot of players put time in and grew together. You know what I'm saying? Shed a little bit of light on that. I think that'd be great for not only me, but for a lot of other HBCU players. So
Yeah.
that was a huge thing.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. And you mentioned you played a little safety, a little corner, a little nickel, a little bit of everything, a jack of all trades. And for JMU, they lost D'Angelo Pons to the transfer portal. They got Chauncey Logan coming back, but there's kind of a big question mark on who the other corner is going to be, who the safeties are going to be. I mean, that secondary, you probably realize that going through the transfer process, there's a lot of opportunities there. Did the coaching staff kind of tell you which spot you'll be kind of competing for? Is it safety? Is it corner? Or is it kind of going in and seeing where you fit best and they'll slot you in wherever you can succeed?
Well, right now we really have a lot of versatile guys coming in. So I mean, we kind of have an idea, but I'll just leave that for the season for everybody to come and see. I'll just say, as you know, as you said, we got a lot of open spots, a lot of things changed, but I don't think change is always a bad thing. I think we brought in
For
a
sure.
couple guys who can really play ball and who, like I said, are pretty versatile like me. Had another grad transfer from UConn, pretty much played everywhere. Um, had a couple other guys, another corner come in, a nickel corner come in. So
Yeah.
I think we'll be good. And then the guys who still are here, like they were just behind really good guys. Like I think we have a lot of players who may be a little bit younger but can play. Like I
Yeah,
think they can play. So
for
I think
sure.
we'll make it work.
I got to know what the recruiting pitch is from the coaching staff when they're trying to get you when you enter the portal. What do they say to you? How do they get you to come to JMU knowing that there is going to be some competition for some spots there?
Well, I don't think it's really too much of a recruiting pitch needed for a guy like me who kind of has always been like an underdog. You don't really too much have to say much. I know that I'll be competing and I'm not scared to compete. I always had to compete. I had to compete at Howard when I came in and I was a
Yeah.
freshman and it was 3 or 4 guys who were seniors and juniors. I always had to compete. So competition is something that I never shied away from. Um, I think I think a big thing wasn't really them selling the place to me, but me feeling like this was the place that I should be. So um, I knew a few players, few coaches who were on the staff already, so that was kind of a big thing. Made it kind of feel a little bit more like home. One of my coaches was actually on the Howard staff with me, so it was great to reconnect with him. But Yeah, I don't think competition is
Yeah,
something that.
that's awesome. Can you kind of describe your play style for us for JMU fans? What can we expect seeing you suit up and hit the field out there on for game one against Charlotte?
Yeah, yeah. It's really funny because we talked about versatility, and I think each defensive back position requires a different play style. So I feel like whatever position that I'm in will bring that nature out of me. So like when I'm playing at the higher safety and I got to come down and make a lot of more tackles and stuff in the box, you'll probably see me put on a little bit more pounds. I'll probably look a little bit bigger, and I'll probably be a lot more aggressive, a lot more on that side of things. But when it comes into playing things like nickel or corner, slot corner, whatever, all those three, I think that's a lot more savviness, a lot more like technician work, a lot more finesse. So I think that would be like more like a poetry or emotion type of thing. I think that would be something that fans will really love to watch and just admire the time that had to be put in to see that work.
Poetry emotion. I like that. That sounds smooth. That sounds nice on the outsides. I dig that. Um, you mentioned you were injured in what was it, 2022, and then your final year at Howard. Really solid stuff from you. During that injury rehab process, was there anything you specifically worked on in your game that allowed you? I believe you had 2 interceptions, 3 pass breakups. It was one of your best years in terms of those statistical categories. Was there something you worked on during that rehab process while you were injured that you think helped take your game to that next step?
Well, if you want me to be completely honest with you,
Of course.
I definitely worked on a couple of different things, but I don't even want to give that credit to myself. I feel like even if I didn't get hurt in 2022, that year would have been a great year. We got a new defensive back coach, Kaishan Jarrett, played in the league, played for the Commanders. He's a former Virginia Tech guy, great coach, like great. What I would say, he really took my game to a whole different level. Challenged me mentally, challenged the whole group mentally, challenged the whole group physically. Like that's a great coach. I definitely see him somewhere coaching on Sundays or as a head coach somewhere really soon. That's a great coach, great person.
That's awesome. And last question before we let you get up out on out here, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. There are a lot of transfers in this group. We've talked about it. That's secondary. It's new. Have you had the opportunity to talk with them? And if you have, is there kind of an overall mantra for you guys coming together, joining the I guess the old guard now? But I mean, the returners are pretty young, coming from the JMU side. Is there kind of been a mantra between you guys? If you've been able to talk?
Yeah, we talked a lot. So, couple of guys, we I met a couple guys before we even came in, just through social media, reconnected, and got on the phone a couple of times, whatever the case. A lot of the guys I met first day, second day, and I think we all pretty much are as older guys as grad transfer
Yeah,
like vets. We pretty much know the ins and outs of the game. We know that more than anything right now, it's time to put in hours. It's time to grind and build chemistry. So I think we're on the right path personally. I think it'll all come together.
that's awesome. Well, appreciate the time, Ray. Look forward to seeing you guys out on the field on against Charlotte. I think that's August 31st, coming up quickly. Good luck this season.
I appreciate you for having me, man. Anytime.
Thank you.